Welcome to Mlc TV News, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, Kogi State. I am Fatima Yakub. The headlines: Civil servants to present vaccination proof. AISHA BABANGIDA advocates digital education. Bow and arrow attack appears to be terrorism in Norway. Now, the news in detail. The Presidential Steering Committee, PSC, on Wednesday said that civil servants would, from December 4th, present proof of vaccination or negative polymerase chain reaction test conducted within 72 hours to have access to offices. The chairman, PSC, on COVID-19, Boss Mustafa, disclosed this during the presidential press briefing on COVID-19 in Abuja. Mustafa, who is also the secretary to the government of the Federation, said that the move was to encourage vaccination rate across the country. According to him, with effect from December 4th, 2021, federal government employees shall be required to show proof of COVID-19 vaccination or present a negative COVID-19 PCR test result done within 72 hours. He said that this was to gain access to their offices in all locations within Nigeria and the missions, adding that an appropriate service-wide advisory circular will be issued to guide the process. Similarly, events of the large gatherings are likely to hold while the PSC prepares to escalate surveillance and other control activities. They urge states and all Nigerians to also increase their vigilance and take measures to moderate activities. Mustafa said statistics generated over the last 4 weeks on testing have shown that the trend of infection is going down in some states, while in others the trajectory is upward. Combined total for testing by PCR and RDT now stands at about 3,141,795 persons. The aviation authorities, in collaboration with the diplomatic sector, have made reasonable progress in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Discussions are still ongoing with the UAE authorities to resolve the impasse. The PSC had placed a restriction on Turkey, Brazil, and South Africa due to the upsurge in the number of COVID-19 cases. According to him, over several months, 4 countries were placed on high-level restriction for travelers from such countries. The PSC has, after a review of the development in these countries, decided to remove South Africa, Turkey, and Brazil from the restricted list. The Honorable Minister of Aviation today presented the position of African countries on vaccine passport, which some economic blocs and countries wish to impose for travel purposes. Mustafa said that the UK has eased restrictions on fully vaccinated travelers from Nigeria to the UK with effect from October 11th. Nigeria welcomes this development and assures that the PSC shall continue to review Nigeria's protocols based on global developments, science, and national experience. A revised protocol will be issued in the next 24 hours. The federal government says the repatriation of 1,130 looted Benin bronzes from Germany to Nigeria is on track, and the matter is on the front burner of both countries. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, disclosed this on Wednesday in Abuja when he received a delegation from Germany to follow up on issues of repatriation of the bronzes. It was reported the delegation led by Dr. Andres Georgen, the Director General for Culture and Communication of the German Federal Foreign Office, was accompanied by the German Ambassador to Nigeria, Birgit Ori. He said he wants to reiterate here that the return of the artifacts will not be the end of an era, but rather the beginning of further cooperation between the two countries. Mohammed expressed satisfaction with the Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, earlier signed between the delegation and the National Commission for Museums and Monuments. He said the MOU, which was about confidence building between the parties, had underscored the fact that no one was reneging on the agreement reached on the return of the cultural objects. The return of the artifacts will cement further relationship between Nigeria and Germany. This is because culture today has become one of the most effective tools of soft diplomacy. The minister said Germany remained the first country to return in large number looted artifacts from Nigeria, and the gesture would endear Nigerians, and in particular the people of Edo State, to Germans. Mohammed disclosed that a team of experts would soon be visiting the major museums in Germany, where the artifacts were located before the final agreement signing ceremony in Berlin in December. Earlier, the Director General of NCMM, Professor Issa Tijani, said the German delegation arrived the country on Monday. He said the MOU they signed would enable the delegation to effectively engage with the various institutions, museums, and trustees when they return to their country. It was reported that the Benin bronzes to be repatriated were looted in 1897 when the British Empire invaded Benin Kingdom in a military expedition. The objects were later auctioned off in London and elsewhere and soon became central pieces in the collections of many museums in the global north. Kogi State Governor Yahya Bello has said women participation in governance is sacrosanct to the development of any society. Governor Bello stated this in a message to Silver Jubilee celebration and annual conference of women in colleges of education in Nigeria held at Okene. The governor, who was represented by his deputy Edward Onoja, said the state government has maintained 35% of women inclusion in governance, stressing that gender equity remains priority of his administration. Governor Bello stated that gender inclusiveness is a model for government at all levels to practice, noting that women participation in politics is imperative for the survival of the nascent democracy in Nigeria. While describing the conference as symbolic, the governor said the modest recognition of women in his new direction administration has resulted in conferment of award on him by the National Council of Women Societies. The governor maintained that the unification of the country, irrespective of tribes, religion, class, and gender, divides will go a long way to resolving all agitation in Nigeria. He promised to continue to provide an enabling environment for businesses to strive in Kogi State and commended the organizers for the award. Speaking on Nigerians' women participation in governance, the Secretary to Kogi State Government, Folashade Ayoade, explained that Governor Bello has displayed exemplary leadership style by involving women in administration of the state, describing such gesture as first of its kind in the history of the country. The national president of the association, Zephora Doguril, said the conference is an annual program aimed at uniting women in colleges of education in the country. Zephora commended Governor Bello for gender inclusiveness in his governance of the state, adding that his passion for the country will continue to receive the association's support. Highlight of the program was the conferment of Award of Excellence on Governor Yahya Bello of Kogi State. Governor Godwin Obaseki has called for full implementation of the National Livestock Transformation Program to address the problem of clashes between farmers and herders. The governor made the call when he addressed State House correspondents after a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa Abuja on Wednesday. Obaseki said that the people of Edo State had resolved that ranching was a private business and should be treated as such. As you already know, it is expensive to run and manage ranches, so the National Livestock Transformation Program, which is now being implemented by the federal government, should acknowledge our model. It should also be able to help Edo people benefit from the funding that is now being made available for people who want to go into the livestock business and have made investments in ranches and other similar livestock programs. According to Obaseki, the state government is yet to promulgate a law banning open grazing because it sees the venture as private business. As you know, most southern states have passed laws relating to open grazing, but Edo State has not, because we want to ensure that whatever laws we pass are laws that we can enforce. We have had extensive consultations with our people to deal with the issue that we do not want open grazing because it's outmoded and outdated. However, what are the options? If we are asking that we should now have ranches and these cows should be constrained to specific areas such as ranches, then who provides the land? He queried. The Oyo State government has threatened to revoke ongoing State Universal Basic Education (SUBEB) and Universal Basic Education Commission (UBEC) jobs for defaulting contractors. These contracts were given under the 2012 to 2018 intervention project to 22 defaulting contractors. Dr. Nureni Adeniran, the executive chairman of Oyo SUBEB, gave the warning during a meeting with 22 affected contractors on Thursday. He said that the contracts will be terminated following a breach of contract terms. Many of the projects, including those awarded by the previous administration, have dragged on since 2018. This is in contravention of the time frame of the contractual agreement, which stipulated 2 weeks for completion of borehole and maximum of 24 weeks for completion of model schools. The board will not hesitate to apply appropriate sanctions against these defaulting contractors who have failed to meet project specifications in the execution of UBEC and SUBEC jobs in the state. You may answer queries from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission after the November 2021 deadline. The contractors also risk being blacklisted by UBEC for further contracts of UBEC SUBEC nationwide. The Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, REDAN, reiterates commitment to deliver affordable shelter for all Nigerians. Aliyu Wamako, president of REDAN, made the declaration while declaring the 10/21 Extraordinary General Meeting of the Association on Wednesday in Kaduna. REDAN plans to achieve this through the Rural Urban Housing Initiative. Our immediate focus is to build at least 100 affordable housing units in each of the 774 local government areas of the Federation, bringing it to a total of 77,400 housing units where it is feasible and viable. This will be implemented under the RUHI 774 as an institution on the supply side of the housing delivery equation. We have marshaled resources interfaced with critical partners in the housing value chain, which includes the Family Homes Fund Limited and Shelter Africa to provide construction finance. We have 710 chief executives of estate development firms who are members in Kaduna right now to deliberate on matters of general interest, progress and growth of the association. Journalist reports that the REDAN Congress increased the association board of trustees from 9 to 13, as stated in Article 3 of the REDAN Constitution. The Real Estate Helmsman listed the board members includes Sam Ogiri of Delta Mega Trend Nigeria Limited, South, Hussaini Abubakar of Valex Investment Limited, Northeast, Ali Wamako of Jedo Investment Limited, Northwest, and Mohammed Sanusi of Headquarters Solution Global Investment Limited, Northwest. You're still watching Mlc TV. We'll be right back.
Mlc TV Online is here. For your timely and reliable news that reaches you fast with the breaking news, choose Mlc TV. Get human interest stories right here on Mlc TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on Mlc TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on Mlc TV. Mlc TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. Mlc TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
AISHA BABANGIDA, chairman of the Better Life Program for African Rural Women, has advocated equal opportunity for the girl child through digital education as their counterparts to promote growth. AISHA, first daughter of the former military president Ibrahim Babangida, said this at an event organized by Topaz Toastmaster Club (TMC) on Tuesday in Abuja. The event, themed Digital Generation, Our Generation, was organized by the club to commemorate this year's United Nations International Day of the Girl Child. According to her, there is a gap in the female representation in governance. Therefore, they need to empower the girl child to equally participate actively in elections as their male counterparts. It is no surprise that when you notice a female among 10 males is well-to-do with the internet in about 2/3 of developed countries. In today's world, there are several opportunities for both girls and boys, men and women, online. But one of such opportunities online is the digital divide, which has increased. One of the targets of increasing the number of girl children exclusively online, the girls are more likely to come up through internet access. Also speaking, the president of TMC Abuja chapter, Muntab Abubakar, said there is need for holistic approach on empowerment of the girl child to achieve desired goals. According to him, more should be done to raise awareness on the need for the empowerment of the girl child. Abubakar said, be it my grandmother or the girl in internally displaced persons camp, they must say it clearly that their attitude towards the girl child is wrong, biased and heartless. Head of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) National Convention, the North has agreed on 3 candidates to contest for the chairmanship position. The event, scheduled for October 30th, will usher in a new National Working Committee (NWC). The current NWC has been battling with a crisis of confidence and court case that pushed embattled National Chairman Uche Secondus out of office. After a court ruling in an ongoing suit, Secondus stepped aside for Yemi Akinwumi, the acting national chairman. The party hopes that the convention will help to resolve the current wranglings so that it can start preparation for the 2023 general elections. However, the PDP Southern Caucus is yet to decide on the microzoning of NWC position, as the governors are yet to meet. No other position has been deliberated on by the Northern or Southern Caucus. In fact, the latter has not formally discussed the microzoning of any of the positions zoned to the south. The governors are yet to meet. Meanwhile, the PDP Southern governors, officials, and other key stakeholders are expected to take decisions on allocated posts within 72 hours. An agreement will be made public after the gathering approves the state and individuals to contest for certain posts. Governor Ifeanyi Egwuanyi Enugu, Ahmadu Fintiri Adamawa chaired the Zoning and Convention Planning Committee. After last week's 94th National Executive Council, NEC, in Abuja, 3 governors and the party official declared intention to seek the PDP 2023 presidential ticket. The Supreme Court on Thursday upheld the judgment of the Court of Appeal, Kano Division, delivered on August 10th, which had affirmed Chief Victor Oye as the national chairman of the All Progressives Grand Alliance. The Victor Oye's faction of the ABGA conducted the primary that produced Professor Charles Soludo as its governorship candidate in the forthcoming November 6th election in Anambra State. Reverend Godfrey Chimezie, a Catholic priest from St. Teresa Parish in Umuahia, Abia State, has been kidnapped. The incident occurred in the Umuahia North local government area on Enyoko Road, Ohokobe, Afaraoku, Ibeku. According to eyewitnesses, gunmen approached the priest after he finished a morning service at St. Gabriel Catholic Church in Opuruhie, Afaroku, dragged him out of his Toyota Corolla into their jeep and raced away. Chimezie was ordained as a priest earlier this year in Enugu State. Geoffrey Obona, the state police public relations officer, said the police had yet to receive a formal report on the event. However, on Wednesday, October 13, 2021, a number of Catholic ministers confirmed the occurrence to journalists. Meanwhile, a woman was also kidnapped on Aba Road, Umuahia, near the Madonna Catholic Hospital, a few hours after the priest was abducted. When the unidentified woman was grabbed and carried away by gunmen suspected to be kidnappers, she was believed to be leaving a filling station where she had purchased fuel. The event was confirmed by a police official who added that the investigation is still underway. The rate of insecurity in the southeast is alarming and worrisome. Despite the exercise Golden Dawn launched by the Nigerian Army a few days ago, the unknown gunmen terrorizing the region are still operating. Military operations alone cannot end insecurity in southeast region. The federal government should meet with political, traditional, religious leaders as well as youths in the region to seek their cooperation. On our foreign news, at least 46 people have been killed and dozens more seriously injured in a fire at a thin-story tower block in southern Taiwan, officials says. A residential and a commercial building in the city of Kaohsiung caught fire in the early hours of Thursday morning, the local fire department said. It took firefighters more than 4 hours to extinguish the blaze. The fire department told reporters that 79 people had been taken to hospital, including 14 in a serious condition. A number of residents in the block of about 120 apartments are thought to be old or to have disabilities. Fans told it to receive promised £54 million from UK to tackle migrants crossing. Home Office Minister said the delay in payment was the result of an administrative process involved in transferring large sum of taxpayers' money. A group of people thought to be migrants are brought into Dover, Kent, on board a border force vessel on Sunday. The government has promised that £54 million promised to France to help prevent small boat migrant crossings will be paid in the coming weeks. Asked by reporters on Monday when the cash will be given to French, Haynes said, "Absolutely, we are working closely with the French." A deadly bow and arrow attack in Norway, which left 5 people dead, appears to have been an act of terror, Norway Security Service (PST) said. However, a motive has not yet been determined. Police says the suspect, a 37-year-old Danish citizen, had converted to Islam, and there were fears that he had been radicalized. He is accused of killing 4 women and a man on Wednesday night in the southern town of Kongsberg. Residents have been deeply shaken by the violence. Flags were flown at half-mast on Thursday, while flowers and other memorials were placed on Kongsberg Main Square. The victims were all aged between 50 and 70. Regional Police Chief Ole Bedrup Sivrod told reporters at a Thursday morning news briefing. What they know about the Norway bow and arrow attack: the attack was first reported at 18:12-16:12 Greenwich Meridian time on Wednesday. Police confronted the man 6 minutes later, but he shot several arrows at them and escaped. He was eventually caught at about 30 minutes later. It was during his time between being first approached and then arrested. The victims were killed. A woman was also stabbed at a nearby intersection, witnesses told local media. Local media have named the suspect as Espen Andersen Brathen. A police lawyer told public broadcaster he would be assessed by psychiatrists. Police fired warning shots when he was eventually arrested, but it is not clear if officers were armed when they first came across the suspect. Norwegian police do not usually carry guns on them. Weapons are stored at police stations or in their patrol cars. The attack was Norway's deadliest since far-right extremist Anders Behring Breivik murdered 77 people, most of them teenagers, on the island of Utoya in July 2011. The attacker allegedly launched the assault inside a Coop Extra supermarket on Kongsberg's west side. One of those injured was an off-duty police officer who was in the shop at that time. Police have told Norwegian news agency that the attacker also used other weapons during the incident without giving more details. An arrow left in the walls is seen after several people were killed and others were injured by a man using a bow and arrow to carry out attacks. The suspect moved over a large area and authorities cordoned off several parts of the town. Residents were ordered to stay indoors so authorities could examine the scene and gather evidence. Police searched surroundings, gardens, and garages with the help of sniffer dogs. Over to Aliyu Nasser on sports.
Now sport news. Chelsea legend Didier Drogba on Wednesday returned to action to score a hat-trick against Arsene Wenger UNICEF 11 team in a charity match. Wenger returned to management to lead a UNICEF 11 out against Marseille legends. Wenger's side moved into a 2-1 lead at Stade Velodrome in the first half. However, Drogba strolled the show with a trail of goals for Marseille legends. The Ivory Coast legend found the net twice and then even dusted off his infamous celebration for his third goal. Marseille legend triumphed 7-4 against UNICEF 11. Meanwhile, Robert Pires, Jens Lehmann, Mathieu Flamini, and Sami Nassir, all Arsenal legends under Wenger, made appearance last night. Still on sports, Enyimba Football Club has announced Finidi George as their new coach after the expiration of Fatai Osho's contract. The appointment has brought in relief with loads of expectation and belief that the club will achieve greater things with the former Ajax winger in charge of the team. All eyes will be on Finidi George to deliver the goods when Enyimba Football Club kicked off their 2021-22 season in Aba as they take on Diambas Football Club Academy in CAF Confederation Cup this Saturday, 16th October 2021. The wait is over as Enyimba Football Club begins another quest in CAF Confederation Cup under the new gaffer on Saturday in Aba. The expectation of Enyimba fans scattered all over the country is summarized by the message of the Abia State Governor, Okezie Ikpeazu, when he received Finidi George in his office after his announcement as coach of the club. He is expected to unleash the experience gathered in Europe over years as a player and later as a manager to help Enyimba win trophies again. The chairman of Enyimba Football Club, Felix Anyasi Agu, during the unveiling of Finidi George, said he is banking on Finidi's European experience to deliver the goods. That is sports news. I am Aliu Nasir, reporting for MLC TV. Back to our caster for more stories.
Thank you, Aliu Nasser, for the update. This is our news package. Join us tomorrow via the same channel. For sponsorship and advert placement, call the numbers displayed on your screen. Visit our social media handles: Facebook, Mlc TV, Instagram, Mlc TV 2021, YouTube, Mlc Tv. I am Fatima Yakub. Thank you for staying with us.